This episode of the What's Happening Delco podcast is brought to you by Delco Meets for Business. Check us out on Meetup, register, and attend one of our fantastic networking meetings, which we meet on the first and third Thursday at the Brick House in Ridley Park, and the second and fourth Thursday at the Upper Crust in Newtown Square. We look forward to seeing you there. What's happening, Delco? I'm Rich Shane, and welcome to the What's Happening Delco podcast. Today, I'm joined by Patrycja Hosbach of Cork and Charm. Patrycja, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very excited.
All right, I'm excited too. What is Cork and Charm, Patrycja?
So I make novelty and themed earrings, and I donate 50% of the profits to charities, nonprofits, animal rescues, and environmental organizations to help support our local community.
Now, how did you get started with all these things that you're doing?
So it's kind of funny because I never really intended to have a business. I just kind of fell into it. I had a friend that was showing me how to make some resin earrings because I have birds and I wanted to make little earrings with their feathers because they shed so many feathers. And so then she was teaching me how to make earrings, and I started playing around with making earrings out of cork fabric and like incorporating charms, which is actually how I came up with the name for it. But then the charms, when I was buying them, there were like all these cute, adorable charms. And so I just started making charm earrings, and they were so popular. I was like selling them and giving them away to friends. And so I just decided to kind of make it into a business, and it's just really just grown from there.
How do you decide? You mentioned that you donate 50% of your profits. How do you decide some of the charities and some of those that you are helping to provide additional funding to?
Sure. So a lot of them are ones that are kind of based around Delaware County. Just because I live in Delaware County, I'm trying to look for like local groups. I donate to a lot of animal shelters and rescues. I'm a big animal lover. We've always had animals. And it's just, I think, a area that needs help because obviously the animals can't help themselves always when they're in situations. So being able to support them where they can be taken care of is very important to me. I've also been partnering with a lot of local food banks. I also partner with like Phil Abundance in Philly. I have also a lot of different nonprofits that have started reaching out to me to see if I'll partner with them because I've been in business for a couple years now. So my name is starting to get out there. And so I have people that will reach out to me as well. And then I will do different partnerships where I can donate and support them.
Talk about some of the charms, the earrings, some of the things that you make for the listeners to understand more about these decorative earrings and jewelry that you do.
Sure. So even though this is technically audio, I am actually wearing one of my earrings. These are microphone earrings. Since we're on a podcast, I thought that would be very appropriate. They are all kind of like quirky and novelty. So I have like cat earrings and dog earrings, books, tea, coffee, all sorts of kind of like fun things that can represent hobbies or things that you like. I just have fun looking for cute stuff. And it's also just fun like helping people pick out earrings because I also do a lot of pop-up shows and like trade shows. So when people come into my booth and they kind of look around at all the different choices, I kind of like to start talking to them, like, what kind of things do you like to do? What are your interests? And being able to kind of help them find an earring that like matches their personality. I know it sounds kind of like cliche, but it's just so fun.
It sounds like if you can't or you don't have that specific earring available, you might be able to custom make something for somebody as well, right?
Yes, I love to be able to find it. Part of it for me is kind of like the hunt. So if somebody has a specific theme that they like, and I don't have it, I will try to either make it or find it. And there's like this little satisfaction at the end. You know, you have a treasure hunt and like I found something that will fit for the person and then I can make them into earrings for them.
Now, you mentioned you do pop-up shows. What are some of the events that you have coming up that people can find where you're going to be?
So we actually have a whole bunch of shows. I've actually had to buy a 2025 calendar in
Wow.
order to keep track of all of the shows because I am like booked till next year, which is great. I can't complain about that. And a lot of them are super fun. So the one that I have coming up really soon is going to be the Walk for Paws, which is with the Brandywine Valley SPCA. I have a fan expo, which is going to be in Philly, which is like a Comic-Con one. There's a couple of veg fests that are coming up. There's like a Philly, a Delaware, a Lancaster veg fest. And what else? There's some quilt shows. So I have like yarn themed and sewing themed earrings. I've like lost track. I have to look at my calendar
Well,
of all
for
of the
those
different shows.
for those that are not able to get to some of these shows, or maybe there's some more that you have not mentioned yet, how do people find you? Do you have a web presence? Are you on the socials?
Yes. So I do have my own website, which is corkandcharm.com. I'm also on Etsy as Cork and Charm. I have an Instagram, which is Cork and Charm, and Facebook, Cork and Charm. And if you go onto my website, which is the corkandcharm.com, I do have a list of all of the events that are kind of coming up. So the ones that I mentioned are kind of the ones that are being put on by like other people, and I'm coming in as a pop-up. But I do have a couple like really big events that I have coming up, if I can talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the first one that's coming up that is kind of unique is Delco's Giving Day, which is May 8th and 9th. I'm pretty sure, like 99% sure. And that is something new for Delaware County that is being put on by the Foundation for Delaware County. So it's actually like a county-wide community day for giving and supporting local nonprofits and different organizations all in Delaware County. And if you go onto their website, they have like around like 200 different nonprofits. And I didn't even realize that there were that many in Delaware County by itself. So like that's just amazing. All of the different groups that are, trying to help support our community. And I was actually one of the first ones that signed up for being like a sponsor for it. So we are doing, I don't remember the exact categories, but we're giving away like 5 different prizes. I think they're like $500 each to like an animal group, an arts group, a basic needs group, a health group. So they're going to be picking out like different nonprofits that we're going to be donating to. So that's coming up May 8th and 9th. The other event that I have coming up is actually in partnership with Happy Souls. So they are a local nonprofit that helps women who are going through like cancer treatments and are having fertility issues. So they have a golf outing day that they are putting on in June, June 24th. So you can either sign up to be a golfer, which is like a whole day event. They're including like lunch and dinner. And then you could also do a sponsorship for that as well if you aren't able to come or if you just want to help support the cause. And then I got one more. And this is the one that I'm like really excited about because it's the one that I'm actually putting on. And I've been doing a lot of events, but this is going to be like my first time where I'm actually putting together my own fundraising event. It's going to be in October. So October 4th through the 6th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend. And it's going to be a craft fair with a fundraising element to help support local nonprofits that are dealing with families that are going through cancer and like women's health. So it's called Craft Out Cancer Fundraising Event. We're going to have like 100 vendors. And if you go onto my website, it'll also be there. I do have like an event page set up for it. So it will give you information about like if you want to be a vendor there, if you craft. We also are looking for sponsors to help support. And then also if there's other nonprofits that I'm not aware of that also want to participate as well. So I'm like really, really excited about that.
What I really take from you, Patrycja, is it's a 50-50 proposition. It's 50% I get to make these amazing earrings, charms, all these things that you do, and you also get to give back. And with what you do, I see the excitement on both levels. You're all these charities, nonprofits, events, you get to give because you take another passion that what you do and you apply it. And I think that's fascinating. And I think that's so Delco in a way. And I hope that people can appreciate all the hard work and efforts that you're making, not only to create these events, but be a part of them.
Oh, thank you.
So who mentors you? Who inspires you?
Oh, that is a hard question. I take inspiration from a lot of different places. So, kind of going back to the fact that I donate like 50%, a lot of times when I tell people that, they're like really shocked. But I do follow a lot of like these old proverbs that say, there's more happiness in giving than in receiving. Or like if you practice giving, people will give to you. So things like that, when you are open to giving, people will also give to you. And that has inspired me a lot. I spend a lot of time volunteering, and there's definitely a big aspect of inspiration there, being able to connect with people, being able to help them, and in turn they help you. Like if you deal with depression and like you have hard times that you're going through, it can be sometimes very like you just really want to isolate yourself. And when you volunteer and you help others, that kind of forces you to go outside of your norm. And that makes it also easier for you, because when you're helping somebody else, it helps you. And so on one hand, it's kind of like I'm doing this for me, but I'm doing this for other people, but it helps me in the end as well. I have a lot of friends who are very supportive of it. My husband has also been very supportive, and he's actually been helping me make earrings, which has been really fun. When we first started, I was kind of taking pictures of him making earrings. It was so funny, but he's like really good, and he is also my quality control. Like if he notices I don't do something quite right, he's like, "You got to fix this. It needs to look good for the customer." So I have a lot of people that support me, and I think that's also a big deal too.
In the beginning of your company, you were looking to make earrings or something out of the bird feathers. Is that something you still do, or can people find that as far as what you offer?
So I don't do as much with the resin right now, just because it does take a lot more work. And even with like the cork earrings, when I was making them, they do take a lot more work. I've just been so busy with the shows and trying to keep up with the charm earrings that I've kind of like focused on that right now, just so I can get all of my orders and shows done. But I may eventually go back to that, or maybe just throw it in like little specialty things here and there as a maybe limited time or limited specials.
You finish up with one of your shows and you have a cheesesteak craving. Where are you going for your cheesesteak?
I don't know. I don't have a favorite place.
All right. How about for you and your husband? It's a pizza night. Where are you grabbing pizza?
So I hate to say this, but I go to either Domino's or Pizza Hut, because I like the thick crust pizzas, the ones that are just super greasy and horrible for you.
Do you have a favorite topping?
I like veggies, but no olives.
You are going for some supplies and you have a convenience store need. Where are you going? Royal Farms or Wawa?
Wawa.
How do you describe Delco to somebody who's never been here or who's never heard of Delco before?
Again, a very hard question. I don't know how to describe that. I probably should ask my husband instead, because he was born, raised, and grew up in Delco, literally all within like 2 mile radius. So I've been a little bit more traveling around, but I have a really hard time picking favorite things because I like to experience lots of different things.
Well, if you were to pick something and you had a friend or family coming in from out of town and you wanted to give them or take them to have that Delco experience, do you have an idea where you'd send them or where you'd take them?
So if we're talking about food, right now, my go-to restaurant is the Brick House. I have been telling everybody about the Brick House. They have a skillet and potato and pepper dish, like a breakfast dish that is absolutely amazing. But that's probably because I'm also Polish, and so I love kielbasa. And every time I go to the Brick House, that's what I order.
Now, all right, you're taking them to the Brick House, and I know for a fact that they can buy Cork and Charm at the Brick House as well. You're one of the vendors that they highlight from Delco.
Yes, I am at the Brick House.
Now, John and Denise do a great job on those food items. Their food is delicious. Service is awesome. You mentioned even those Polish roots. Any favorite Polish dishes or traditional dishes that you enjoy and love?
I love food, so I like it all. I love Polish pancakes, which are actually more like a French crepe than like a traditional pancake. I love pierogies. I love kielbasa. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, pickle soup. I know that sounds really weird, but it is delicious.
Pickle soup. All right, here's what you just did. You left the listener hungry. Their mouth is watering, and they're just really hungry now. But is there anything that we haven't spoken about on the podcast? Anything you want listeners to know about more about you or Cork and Charm, Patrycja?
So I think for the moment, the thing that I really, really want people to know about is the fundraising event that I have going on. This is something that I am just like really super excited about. And I am looking for both vendors and sponsors. I would love, love, love to make this an annual event. So I really hope we get a lot of support. What I forgot to mention about the fundraising event is all of the money that we make during that event, be from ticket sales and fundraising activities. We're doing like raffles there as well. They're actually going to be donated to the specific nonprofits that are participating in the event. So at the moment, we have like Happy Souls, we have Hope Afloat, we have Bringing Hope Home, and there's one more, and the Breathing Room Foundation. So these are going to be the 4 nonprofits that currently have signed up for our fundraising event. So all of the money that we make during this event from the fundraising will be divided and given to them via a grant through TCF. So I really hope that we are able to support them really well and be able to give them some funds so that they can keep going with the missions that they're doing to support local families.
All right. Hey, Delco. And by the way, this podcast is not just listened to in Delco. We are worldwide. So if you're looking for a great gift, something unique, go to the website for Cork and Charm, pick out some items, make this a gift that you give for birthdays, anniversaries, all these special opportunities to give. But guess what? When you shop with Cork and Charm, you don't just give, you give back. Patrycja, thank you so much for being a guest of the podcast, for being a friend of What's Happening Delco, and we can't wait to see you at a lot of these events coming up.
Thank you so much.
Hey, it's Rich. Thank you so much for being a listener to the What's Happening Delco podcast. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to learn more about the people and businesses in our community. I have been a real estate agent for over 25 years, working with first-time home buyers to last-time home sellers. As a listener of the podcast, my gift to you is a complimentary 1-year American Home Shield home warranty. This is for buyers and sellers that I help. If you're looking to move anywhere in the United States, I have you covered with an amazing network of real estate agents. I look forward to hearing from you. My direct line is 215-313-3777, or you can email me at rshaneremax@comcast.net. Oh, by the way, I am never too busy for any of your referrals.